Welcome back, brothers and sisters. I am Braden. This is Langley Outdoors, the place where we not only talk about what's going on in the gun world, our beautiful country, and how we're going to fix both of those things together. Today, we're going to talk about something that I think is going to bring joy to a lot of your hearts. A bill to repeal the NFA has been submitted. Partners nicely with the bill to abolish the ATF. But the thing is, they're both put forward by the same guy. And this is what we're really going to focus on. I'm going to show you the ins, the outs, the odds of all of it. I'm also going to show you the guy himself and the bills and what needs to happen to go forward with this. Everything will always be linked in the description box below. I can't wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on if you want to spread that freedom to and fro in this amazing country. And we're going to get right to this. Now, I'm going to say a quick word from our sponsor, Aura, and then I'm going to show you what's behind the curtain number one. Today, I want to talk to you through our sponsor, Aura. Now, this is an identity theft solution, and I want to tell you an example that happened to me personally and my wife. Now, she bought gas like every one of us does on a daily basis and used her credit card. That number was skimmed and stolen, and we would not have known that some criminal shyster on the internet was using our individual number and money to buy incremental purchases at random places across the United States very subtly and sneakily. And that's where Aura comes in. There's a link in the description box below to get your free 2-week trial, but let me show you some of the benefits they're offering. They offer data broker opt-out. It will help remove your personal information from data brokers, and Aura will make sure that they cannot sell your information to identity thieves. It's got identity theft protection and monitors your credit file and your social security number. There's financial fraud protection. You can get alerted in minutes when your credit file has been compromised. I'm not leaving my family and those that I love vulnerable to these types of thieves, so neither do you. Go to aura.com/Langley. There's a link in the description box below and start your free 2-week trial to get in front of these shysters, and that's enough time to figure out if there's something going on with your profile. Link right in the description. All right, you beautiful bastions of freedom, welcome back. So as you can see here, this is Eric Burleson. This is Representative Eric Burleson. So he just submitted yesterday a bill to repeal the NFA. I'm completely down for it. Go team. With a caveat. Get that in a second. Now, the other piece here, repeal the ATF. Abolish the ATF. Also, I'm going to show you that. I'm also going to give you a caveat on that one. Now, I want both of these outcomes. Don't get it twisted. However, I want to show you some pretty important things and a little bit about this guy who seems to be taking a tact and a stance directly inside the freedom side of the 2A spectrum. All right. So this is Representative Eric Burleson. He's partnered with Representative Boebert to introduce the Abolish the ATF Act. The ATF is a disaster agency that time after time infringes on American Second Amendment rights. It's got to go. I completely agree with that sentiment. They do overstep their bounds. They do nail Americans on their Second Amendment rights, and they do overstep their confines consistently. Absolutely. Should we abolish them? Yes. When? That's going to be the problem. So, as we go forward into this, you're talking about a bill. I'm going to go ahead and hit do not disturb so we don't get interrupted here. Sorry, should have had that on to begin with. All right. So as we go into this, understand the ATF is an organization that fills all those boxes we just talked about. And a bill to abolish them is a good thing. However, if you don't take out the actual legislation that they're responsible for enforcing, Congress is going to say someone's got to enforce this legislation. If the ATF is gone, where's it going? Right over to the FBI. Now, the problem with that is you have the FBI, which is a dramatically larger portion of the budget, which has a tremendously large potential to be corrupted and politicized, as we've seen over the last few years. And then they've also got a much larger budget. Right now, you've got the ATF, which is underneath the thumb of Congress consistently all the time. They are a line item. They get thrown out all the time. They just lost hundreds of $millions of their budget. Do I want them? Absolutely freaking not. However, the timing has got to be right on this. Now, let's go over to the NFA, and this is the way that you do this, because it's about strategy and execution, and Eric Burleson just put forward Repeal the NFA Act. For decades, the National Firearms Act of 1934 has been used by unelected bureaucrats to impose unconstitutional regulations on gun owners. It must be dismantled and the ATF abolished. The way that you get rid of the ATF is you take away the things they're responsible for enforcing, like the NFA. If you get rid of the NFA, if you take suppressors out of the NFA, if you take full autos out of the NFA, if you take short-barreled rifles and shotguns out of the NFA, they pretty much have no reason to exist inside the Second Amendment space. That's the point. You have to dismantle it piece by piece by piece because they built a Frankenstein monster. You can't just pump one right in the chest and it be done. Talking about the ATF, talking about the organization, talking about the bureaucracy, not individuals. Mind your business. All right. So now if you go down this road, you have to dismantle their power source. And that's what we're talking about. This is the power source, the NFA. Eric Burleson is kind of putting forward bills on ATF and he's putting forward bills on NFA. I would much rather see more emphasis poured behind dismantling or removing things from the NFA, like pulling suppressors out, in order to facilitate this one, which is getting rid of the ATF. ATF has to go, but before you take them out, you got to take away the source of their power, because that source of this power and the responsibility is going to be shifted by Congress to somebody else, and you're not going to like who it gets shifted to. The analogy out of the frying pan and into the fire would apply here, because you've got a very bad organization, which is significantly larger, which is extremely politicized, the FBI, taking over the responsibilities of a smaller agency, which is on the chopping block as an individual line item, which is also watched by Congress very intently. You throw this thing into the FBI and you've got a bureaucratic nightmare spaghetti situation you do not want to deal with. However, if you knock away the NFA, like he just introduced here, which is a great move, then you can start to question the viability of the ATF, because if they have nothing to enforce, then what's the point of their existing? That's why this is such a brilliant move. I love it. Is it going to happen immediately? Probably not, honestly. Is the ATF banning or abolition going to be immediate? Probably not. But this is the baby steps. You take away the NFA, and then the ATF's reason for existing stops existing, and then it's an easier push to get rid of them. That is what I wanted to hit on this. But bravo on an NFA repeal. Go freaking team. Let's throw some more suppressor removal in there, SBR removal, full auto removal, and then we will take the bigger sandwich of the ATF and push that bill forward when the time is right and the shot is lined up. That's what I've got for you guys. NFA repeal bill out, ATF defunding, abolition, removal bill also out. It's a hell of a time to be alive. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that strategy, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden. See you later.